The Nerd by Larry Shue is in production at Pro Arts Playhouse. Sally Sefton is making her debut as Pro Arts director, and it is a match made in paradise. Of late, Ms. Sefton has not had much opportunity to exercise her funny bone, but she demonstrates that directing comedy must be like riding a bike. She exhibits a deft hand and a clear vision in a play she did before with the same actor, Chris Rose, playing Rick Steadman. This show is not easy. It's so over the top it could be unbelievable. The actors have to keep the situation firmly grounded in truth, or it could spin out of control and become plain tedious and ridiculous. This cast works together like a finely tuned instrument. Every string is solidly tuned and virtuosically played. There is not a sour note among them. They are a strange lot, too. In his final Miley performance, he is leaving for Minnesota soon, Dylan Bodie's Willem Cubbert is a picture of restraint, firmly grounded throughout despite experiencing the most extreme provocations. Mr. Bodie maintains his character, which is an architect, who compromises his principles to please his clients, but who tolerates the most outrageous behavior because he has given his word to the man who saved his life. Rick Steadman, played by Chris Rose, our most gifted comedic actor, saved Willem's life in Vietnam and shows up for his birthday party and announces he is moving in. Willem has pledged to do anything for Rick, who wouldn't, but Rick is, to say the least, a bit odd. He shows up in an abominable snowman outfit because he thought it was a costume party. Shades of Hugh Griffith and Start the Revolution Without Me. You'll remember in that great Bud Yorkin film, the king shows up in a chicken suit, much to the consternation of all in attendance. Mr. Rose's Steadman is a character like Philippe Petit, walking between the Twin Towers or across Niagara Falls. The Wire is the precarious characterization he must portray in order for this play to work. If he gets to the other side, the play works. If not, well, let's not speculate about that. Because Mr. Rose is perfect. He plays this character as if he was a real person. He never breaks out of the truthfulness of who he and Ms. Sefton see Rick Steadman as. He is our worst nightmare, someone who doesn't just try our patience and principles, but one who challenges us at every turn. This is a highly physical part for Mr. Rose, who handles it so well. Acting is about reacting, and Mr. Rose's reactions are priceless. Most of the time he's befuddled, but then he exhibits astonishment. Finally, although he is the most outrageous and horrible guest imaginable, this Rick Steadman finds his way into our hearts. He is impervious to the ridiculous ritual he is objected to in the second act, such as watching an apple turn brown, and it is not until the end, which you may or may not see coming, and I will not divulge, does it become a big aha. The rest of the cast are terrific as well. Laura Lee Cole, who is usually seen as a featured or a chorus player, makes her Pro Arts debut with a well-deserved chance to flex her considerable acting muscles in this production as Tansy McGinnis, Willem's love interest and an aspiring TV personality, whose new career opportunity is the motivating factor of the play. Ms. Cole shows an outstanding ability to play a truthful, nuanced character in an over-the-top comedy. My New York audition coach, the great Tim Phillips, used to say, comedy is about real people in ridiculous situations, ridiculous people in real situations, and ridiculous people in ridiculous situations. The Nerd is all three of these. Ms. Cole plays the good girlfriend, the conniving lover, a willing conspirator equally well, and we never get an inkling of what is really going on until the end. Her comic timing is perfect and her delivery is marvelous. She has an imposing presence and very large expressive eyes, which she knows how to use effectively. Into this melange of craziness comes Willem's client, the hotel developer Warnock Walgrave, played by the ubiquitous Anthony James Rummel, who insists on being called Tiki. This led to a hilarious bit between he and Mr. Rose, who could be called Ricky. Mr. Rummel is a master of over-the-top exasperation. The problem for this character is to believably suffer through the outrageousness of Mr. Rose's Rick while maintaining his business relationship with Willem. This is made possible by the child from hell, his son Thor, played by 7-year-old Caleb Ramon Munar Chargualaf. Master Chargualaf spends most of his time making appearances from behind a closed door, where he has locked himself because he hates this place and makes it clear who is in control of this family. Without this devil child, the Warnocks could not believably remain with the insanity they are subjected to. However, because of Master Chargwolof's Thor, they are not so much victimized as co-conspirators in the insanity. Mr. Chargwolof's Thor allows Mr. Rumble's Tiki to be deferential to the nuttiness of Rick and at times apologetic about his son's less than perfect behavior. When Mr. Rumble reaches his last straw, it's an epic eruption that we entirely understand. At 7, Mr. Chargwolof is already a veteran of Mappa's Miss Saigon and Nutcracker. We look forward to being entertained by this fine young actor for many years to come. Of course, Thor had to have a mother. Clelia Waldgrave is played by the marvelous Marcy Smith. Ms. Smith tries to coast above the chaos surrounding her by presenting her character as a patient, loving, tolerant mother who subscribes to pop psychology. She, like Ms. Cole, seems to be the only sane person in this asylum. However, beneath the calm facade lies a cauldron of anger, which she purges at the expense of her host's crockery. Ms. Smith is an outstanding comedienne. Finally, we come to Axel. He is Willem's housemate and the most normal male in the play. Kepa Cabanilla Arachaios plays this character with love and care. You feel the affection he has for his friends, Tansy and Willem, and you understand why he is willing to go to any lengths to ensure their happiness. It must be noted that Mr. Cabanilla Arachaios was not originally cast in this show. An emergency 8 days before opening necessitated finding someone to step into the role with such a short time to rehearse, learn the role, and go on. Luckily, Mr. Cabanilla Arachaios was available and willing to do it. There is no way anyone would know he wasn't cast in the first place. He is just so good. This show is a true ensemble effort, and Ms. Sefton has been blessed with that great director's ability, casting. It is often said that directing is 90% casting, and it is hard to imagine anyone else in the part of Rick Steadman other than Chris Rose. Mr. Bodie will be sorely missed. He has distinguished himself in every role he has taken on, from the Beadle in Baldwin High School's production of Oliver to his wonderful gentleman caller in Ms. Sefton's Glass Menagerie. He has been excellent. Pro Arts continues to deliver the highest quality work in an intimate setting. Carol Walker adapts their stock set for each show beautifully, providing a functioning space that meets the demands of the script. Linda Ewing's costumes, particularly the abominable snowman and floral underwear for Master Chagwanoff, enhanced each character and contributed substantially to the comedic flavor. The Nerd has 4 more performances, Thursday through Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 3. Don't miss it. You can get tickets by contacting proartspacific.com.